Why hello there everybody, my name is... Oh, fuck.
Disgusting!
Why hello there everybody, my name is Hamburger Pete and welcome back to another video. Today's video is a very exciting one indeed because we are doing something that I don't think I have done on this channel before. It is turning a real life person into a anime character. I love anime, obviously. I think that has been very noticeable throughout my videos. And today I want to talk about a anime reactor that I personally really enjoy called Sherianna Reacts. Of course, I'm gonna leave the links in the description below so you can check her out. And basically she reacts to anime. Currently she reacts to One Piece and honestly just One Piece. And obviously for me personally that's my favorite anime, and seeing her react and seeing her reactions is really enjoyable. And also rewatching the series. So if you're interested in something like that, make sure you check her channel out. But really what we're doing today is we're going to be taking her, mostly her face really, and you know, make an anime character out of it. I decided to do her character, I guess. We'll call her a character because it's gonna be easier when it comes to the drawing. I decided to do her character in 3 different anime styles. I wanted it to do more, but I just basically was dragging this video on for way too long. The production of it, I guess you could say, because these drawings took a bit. But the main styles that I, in the end, decided to go for were Bleach, One Piece, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Why did that... I don't know why I struggled with that one so much. I need a sip of water. Oh, delicious. I shouldn't do that. I'm being punished for it now. So the first one that we're gonna be taking a look at today is the Avatar one. It's personally my favorite, and it's the one that I wanted it to showcase first. If you never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, it is a very popular series that aired on Nickelodeon, and you know, a lot of people that have, you know, rewatched it in their adult years have found it to be even more interesting than they thought it was when they were younger, if they have watched it, or if they've never watched it. I feel like most people agree that it's a very good series. While the animation, I mean, you know, a lot of people argue that the animation isn't the best, that it's very average. I think what's important about it is that it's consistent because it's not done by multiple studios. And it looks, I think especially some of the last fights and some of the important fights look really amazing, and the way they did fire looks really, really good, because I know in some anime the fire is sometimes really strange.
Wow, that is delicious.
Overall, I think a lot of people agreed that the story was also really good, and it's, you know, the reason, the characters also, and that's the reason why people really love this show. But I'm not here to, you know, talk about the show as much as I am here to talk about how I made this drawing of Sherianna as basically a thunder lightning bender. The idea is, obviously you can't really see this here because I haven't drawn the lightning, and I'm actually hoping to add this one day when I get a little bit more comfortable at drawing lightning. Because at the moment when I drew it, it looked very overwhelming, and it essentially it took over the picture's attention way too much, where I wanted the attention of the drawing to be her. So I didn't really draw the lightning yet, so you can't really tell she's a lightning bender, but for the sake of it, we'll call her a firebender. And obviously you can see that the design of the dress was inspired, or you know, was inspired by the Fire Nation. I took a lot of notes from Azula's design. Basically any firebender soldier, like those like regular plebs, you know, that get their ass kicked like immediately, the equivalent of Marines from One Piece essentially. You know, and the color scheme obviously is also something that I reference from that, what I like about Avatar is that each nation has a strongly defined visual. Let me rephrase that again. Each nation has a strong visual language, and they're all unique, yet they all fit inside the same world. The Fire Nation has this red clothing, red and golden, and they have pointy, you could say pointy shoulder guards, not like super pointy, but they have a lot of pointy bits, which kind of like reaffirms the whole like fire, because you know when you draw fire, a lot of times you draw the fiery pointy tips, and also the fact that they're more aggressive. Whereas, for instance, the air nomads have, for instance, these like greenish, yellowish palette. They live up in the skies, you know, like there's a bunch of clouds everywhere. Everything is a lot more soft-natured, and they really represent this in their lifestyle as well, as they are nomads and they're very passive. You got the Water Nation, you know, they're more energetic, adventurous. But you know, but since they live on the North and the South Pole, they have their thick hide suits. I don't know what you would call them, but they have their like thick coats with fur, you know. So because it's really cold there, so obviously you need to have that kind of clothing. Except Aang, who for some reason can wear, you know, a monk's suit made out of probably silk and still be fine in the cold. Don't question that one. So the last one is the Earth Kingdom. They have pretty much like, I would say, green-yellow palette again. But I think where I made a mistake earlier when I was talking about the Airbenders is when I said green and yellow, I meant mostly about their environment where they live. Where I should have been more focused on their clothing like I was for the Waterbenders and the Firebenders. The Air Nomads had orange and yellow clothing, so this like monk clothing that you see in, I believe, Shaolin temples. But you know, don't quote me on that, because I believe I saw videos of that anyways on YouTube. So the Earth Kingdom has a yellow and green palette when it comes to their clothing, and they have a very like, the clothing is not very covering because obviously they live in a desert, and you know, the armor, at least of some of the dudes, they have these like heavy bracelets. They have more of a barbaric look to them, but not really barbaric, if you know what I mean. The hand guards have those like thick metal bolts in them, and you know, they have like these heavy duty hats sometimes. It's pretty amazing because like they look very bulky, so they represent the whole earth aspect where they bend earth and, you know, form rocks much better. One of the main things obviously that I wanted to focus in this particular design though was to focus on the Firebenders and their design language. So red, yellow, and the pointy bits was, you know, something that I actively thought about. But I also noticed they had some of the Chinese dresses designed to them as well, so I made sure to include that in this specific design. So one thing I had to look out for is the fact that Sherianna is Muslim. So I obviously had to follow certain design choices when it came to designing her clothing. For instance, her headdress I turned into a hood because I wanted the clothing to be all in one piece. I thought it would look, one piece shout out. I wanted to all be in one piece because I thought that looked really nice. So essentially I combined it and I made it into like a hood, and I thought that turned out really nice. And then what I did was I decided to have basically the hood and the Chinese dress be on top of another uniform that's underneath, which is the black, essentially the black, I guess the black clothing that she wears underneath. That's just like long sleeves that she has, and of course the pants. And one of my favorite parts was of course the boots or the shoes that she's wearing. You can see that she has those Joker pointy you know, boots like they have on the Fire Nation, and I really like those. Even in the past, before I started doing this video, obviously, like way back in the past, like maybe 3 years ago, I did like a lot of these knight designs that have these pointy bits, and that's just a personal taste. Like I really like these pointy bits, When it comes to knight designs especially, I think it looks really cool. So overall, one of the, I guess, main harder things to think about here was doing the ornaments, because I'm not very good at those, and once I did one or two of them, I just copied them over and over. And while that might not look as awesome as each one being individually drawn, like each section, to make it look more unique, it's just a time saver because I'm not very good at those, and like it would take me forever to draw those. So I just decided to copy them and have a repeating pattern all over the dress, which is not unusual because I did look at a lot of let me say that again. I did look up a lot of references for the clothing that, you know, is worn by Muslim women, and some of those dresses are really, really cool. Especially the dresses that I was looking at. I personally found them to be better than the Western dresses, you know, like the ones they wear in America and Europe. Personally, I think they were better because they were more simpler and they felt more elegant. So that's just a personal taste, obviously, but they have a lot of really cool designs. Some of them were over the top, and I think those are more designer designs, if that makes sense. So not really meant to be worn, mostly to be shown off at a fashion show. So I settled for the Chinese dress that the Fire Nation had, you know, been used before, because I wanted to be, you know, to have her be associated with the Fire Nation. The main struggle in this drawing was, in fact, to turn her face into the anime style and make it more, make it believable. One of the things that I really wanted it to do at first was make it look like she's part of a scene, but I am not that good at drawing anime art, personally, even though I've been doing it for a long time, but then I switched to digital painting and I've become much better at that. And so this is the best I can do, make it look as sexy as I can, essentially, in terms of how it's painted and how it's shaded. And obviously then have, you know, that look really great on its own, instead of trying to make it look like it's part of a scene and then failing at that, making it look horrible. So I focused on isolating the pictures or the drawings and making them look good on their own, but I still feel like the style of the anime that I was trying to reference, in this case Avatar, is not really well translated. And I feel that for every, I would say for every artwork that I did, all three that you're gonna see, it's just, I feel like you really need to focus more on the manga style when you're trying to copy a style and make it believable, because the anime really just makes everything look like any other anime. The slight changes here and there you can notice, but I feel like if you really want to get the essence of the style that is used in a certain anime or manga, it's the manga you should be referencing, and I wasn't. And that's okay, I still think they turn out really cool, but I definitely feel like they don't represent the anime style in itself as good, as well as they could have. But I am still very happy with the result. I think in the end this drawing turned out really nice, and you know, you guys and gals can tell me, you know, your opinions down below in the comment section. Please comment. I am lonely and I need somebody to tell me that I'm great and stuff, so I have a confidence boost. No, I'm kidding, guys. You don't have to praise me. You can diss me as well. It's all good. You know, it's just, we're just having good old fun here. We're just poking at each other a little bit. You diss me a little bit, and, you know, I'll diss you a little bit, and, you know, we'll have a nice little back and forward. So this video is coming to an end. It has been going on for quite a while, and we should bring it up, you know, we should wrap it up now. It has been going on for quite a while now, and I'm sure you have better things to do than listen to me mumble about God knows what. So hey, thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you sitting down to the chair, clicking on my video, watching, you know, for 2 minutes, and then, you know, skipping to another video. I truly do appreciate those 2 minutes of your time. Are what I love about you. No. But I really do appreciate each and every one of you for sitting down, watching these videos, you know, maybe getting some kind of clue as to how things are done. I know these videos are not as tutorial based as they used to be, but I am thinking about maybe now and then doing, you know, like a how I do it process video, so maybe you get something from that instead of a this is how you should do it, because obviously there is no one way to draw, and that's, I think, the most important thing you should remember. and that there's multiple styles that, you know, you don't necessarily have to be able to draw very good realistic styles to be able, you know, you can just draw manga, and that's totally fine. You don't have to draw anything else if you don't want to. I think the most important thing about drawing is to have fun, you know. You should never draw things you don't want to. Of course, there are things you can learn, you know, like proportions, you know, where things go, body proportions, face proportions. I think that kind of thing is important, maybe perspective and things like that, because that just applies to, you know, drawing in general. Those are just, you know, rules so that you can make a drawing look more believable. But you don't have to draw realistically, you know. You don't have to draw an anime style. You don't have to succumb to a popular style. The most important thing is you should have fun drawing, because if you don't, you will eventually start hating it, and that would really suck. So yeah, enough of me giving you Uncle Iroh advices over here, because I am not coming nearly as close as Uncle Iroh is. And if Uncle Iroh was here, he would give you an amazing advice, and, you know, you would be set for life. But sadly, Uncle Iroh could not make it today. He is busy playing Pai Sho with his friends in Ba Sing Se, so you will have to do with the little ramble advice that I gave you. Man, I think I just rapped over there a little bit. Did you see that rhyme? Man, I'm getting really good at this thing. Spontaneous rap. No, spontaneous rhymes. Why am I saying spontaneous rap? Spontaneous rat. My name is Rat. Ratman. I am Ratman and Mouse Boy. Guys, anyways, thank you for watching this video again. You know, if you enjoyed it, make sure you click the subscribe button, because that means you'll get this kind of video next week, and then another week, and then hopefully another week, and, you know, and so on. That's how it usually works, you know. It's on a weekly basis here at my channel, at Mr. Hamburger's channel. But yeah. Guys, I'm Hamburger Pete. Thank you for watching this video for the millionth time. I think I've said that now, because, you know, I am not very consistent and have no script. So, you know, this is just me talking into a microphone, and I'm making this video a lot longer than it needs to be. Alright, bye.
Here is your tea. You seem a little too young to be traveling alone.
You seem a little too old.
Perhaps I am.
I know what you're thinking. I look like I can't handle being by myself.
I wasn't thinking that.
You wouldn't even let me pour my own cup of tea.
I poured your tea because I wanted to, and for no other reason.
People see me and think I'm weak. They want to take care of me. But I can take care of myself by myself.
You sound like my nephew, always thinking you need to do things on your own without anyone's support. There is nothing wrong with letting people who love you help you. Not that I love you. I just met you.
So, where is your nephew?
I've been tracking him, actually.
Is he lost?
Yes, a little bit. His life has recently changed, and he's going through very difficult times. He's trying to figure out who he is, and he went away.
So, now you're following him.
I know he doesn't want me around right now, but if he needs me, I'll be there.
Your nephew is very lucky, even if he doesn't know it. Thank you.
My pleasure. Sharing tea with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights.
No, thank you for what you said. It helped me.
I'm glad.